Yeah, early Swole, son. I always wanted to make it a morning show. We'll see. We'll get better at it. Mixing it up. You never know what you're going to get with old Daddy Swole. Good morning, good morning. It's a great way to... That's the thing. It's a great way to start the day. The live, the energy. I think that's why people do morning shows. That's why the radio... The daily fucking sleaze. The daily sleazio. Love the early Swole? Alright, well, you know what? There's a lot of positivity. Come on now. If you love the daily Swole, if you love the early Swole, just drop in the comments. I guess the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, right? Kinda is my intro and shit. Kinda is. Kinda is. Kinda shows the sun rising in the intro, actually. Huh. Huh. Is that so, bitches? What up, Jason, Ansel, Mike, Nathan, Jennifer, Colton Cook, Sherry, how you doing, kid? How's everything going, guys? Alright, it's Thursday, Monday, Tuesday. Swollen your ear holes, is that right? Yeah, I'm going to slide that knowledge dick right in the air. Yeah, it's coming. That is coming. I'm going to fuck your world up. Yeah. We're going to talk as a fitness. Alright, fam, let's do it. Let's give you what you've all been waiting for. Wow. Gal, fitness without the bullshit.
The sun is shining. The birds are chirping. The bacon is sizzling.
Welcome to the Daily Swole. Boom. Testing. Test. The testing. Test ickles. Testing. Test ickles. Welcome everyone to episode 965 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. What is going on, my beaches? My beaches everywhere. Thank you so much for joining me live. It's a morning swole, people. It's a morning swole. It's always kind of meant to be. It was always meant to be a morning swole, but we started off doing it at 12 noon every day. I like the random live because you gotta fucking earn it. It's like, oh wow, I get to watch the swole. I get to watch them rage live today. It's nice. Plus the flexibility or the ability to broadcast at any time. I like it that because everyone's from around the country and around the world, and some people work at night, some people work early, so you're getting the daily swole. You know you're getting it, but it's like a little treat when we can catch each other live. Because just as much as you might catch me live, I'm catching you live. We're catching each other. We're having a conversation. And, we're having a conversation that's one-sided unless you fucking type something. Don't be a fucking mute. Don't sit in the back of the room. Come join the gains. Drop a comment, say something. Say what up. What you doing? What are you doing here at the Daily Motherfucking Swole? Face fucking the coffee. Tell me about it. This shit's good. I already got my pump on. I don't know about you. I pumped at 5 this morning. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm, that's a little bit extra early. And I didn't go to sleep super well. I went to sleep early, but not early enough. I didn't get much sleep last night. But it was one of those things where I woke up at 4:35 and it's like, well, come on. The best way to reset your sleep schedule and kind of get back in the groove, you just got to fucking go. You just got to go. I don't know. If you're not used to working out, look, I do get it. If you're not used to working out in the morning, if you're not used to it, it's rough when you first start because you feel asleep. You're like, how am I going to push things? How am I going to fucking exert energy when I'm so tired? But that's because you're not used to it. And that's the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be active in the morning. You're supposed to be, physically active first thing in the morning. You're supposed to be. That just makes sense. It makes sense. That's why all the animals in the world wake up. The birds start chirping, at 4, right? Or 5, right before the sun really rises. It's a great time of day. Now, there's whenever you can train, whenever you can do it, you should do it. Don't think that, oh, I have to work out at night, so I'm not going to do it because I should. No, if you have to work out at night just because of your schedule or whatever's going on in your life, you do it when you can. But when someone tells me or asks me what's the best time of day, you know me, when someone asks the best of anything, you can't directly answer that because the best it depends on the situation, whether it's exercise or nutrition. Best is relative to whatever's going on in that person's situation. And especially with working out, can you make gains at night? Of course you can make gains if you train at night. You can make gains whenever you fucking train. But if you asked me which one I prefer, it's the morning. Absolutely. It's the morning. Absolutely. And more so for me lately, just because I realize now in my life, it's because I can schedule my shit kind of how I want to. I have so much to do, but I can schedule, when I do the show, when I'm able to, when it's best to do that. But who I am as a person now, the way my mind works, the best time for me to train is first thing. And the reason why is not necessarily it's the best way to start the day and I'm awake. Yes, all those things and the energy and the leftover from working out that drives me, the hunger for just food. It just feels good. It feels like I'm ready to fucking slaughter all day. Anytime I'm up early and I train, I'm just much more productive all day. I just get more done. I have literally more energy. But it's also my mind. I like to work out before my mind really knows what's going on. I like to get there early. That way I can focus because my brain works all the time. I'm always thinking about new videos, new workouts, new programs, new classes, new things I got to edit. My brain is always fucking working. It never stops. It never stops thinking about what I'm going to do and how I can make this better and how I can edit this video better and a good topic for the episode tomorrow or a post right now or something. I'm always thinking about the next thing, right? And in the morning, it's just the more meditative time of day. First thing in the morning, I can just focus on my workout. And yeah, I might be on the phone a little bit, or I'll check a message, or I get an email or something early, or I do a post, but I'm not really focused on work. I'm not focused on anything that I'm doing really. I'm just there. I'm there. And the waking up process is just, it's so great for training first thing in the morning. It's so good, but I think it's just more important for me now to do it before my mind can get distracted. And a lot of people, when they get frustrated, and you can comment below if this sounds like you. When you're upset, if you're upset or you're frustrated with something, you go and you work out and you burn off steam. How many of you do that? How many of you release or burn off, like, let's say you're angry or something happens at work or your husband or wife or boyfriend, girlfriend, something, you get fucking pissed off. You go to the gym and you fucking take out some rage. How many of you do that? How many of you take out frustration with training? When you have a lot on your mind, you go and you just fucking burn shit off. You burn off energy. See, for me, and a lot of people do that. So whether or not you personally, yeah, a lot of people are commenting now, I do that. It depends on the person, because for me, I cannot do that. I cannot do that at all. If I have something on my mind, if I was in an argument, this doesn't happen anymore like that because I don't get in arguments with people anymore. So I can't really use that example because I don't argue. I don't waste time. I don't debate things. I mean, I love conversations, but in other words, like debate in the sense that I don't stress out. No, I don't do that with other people. I don't engage people in that way because it's a dead end. It doesn't go anywhere. I'm not talking about like an intellectual debate. I'm talking about just going back and forth. So, but let's say something's frustrating me, like it's on my mind or I'm struggling with something. I can't go work out. Okay? I can't go work out. That's the thing. I can't go work out because I can't focus, because my brain overrules all that. So where a lot of people will work out and they'll just burn off an anger or argument or some kind of like stress in their life, they'll go and they'll work it off. For me, if I have any kind of that stress or I have something that's on my mind that's pending, I can't focus on my workout. So I can't do that. And I think it's part because I take my workouts so seriously and they're like sacred. It's my time for me to train and to build my body and do what I love. And I don't want to waste it when I'm distracted. One, it's not how I handle it. It's not how I will get better with that. You know, maybe some stretching, maybe some yoga, but a lot of times I can't do that because I can't focus on that. So it's more like of a meditation. It's more of a different method of handling that. So my point being is in the morning, I have more of that clarity because those stresses of the day, like how often do you wake up first thing and you're tell me if I'm wrong. How often do you wake up first thing and you're just worried about shit? You're like worried and your mind is racing, all the things you have to do. No, it takes you some time to warm up to it, right? You know, you don't really wake up fucking freaking out about shit or stressed. So if I can go to the gym right then before all these other things start happening, you know, it's the middle of the day and I'm like, okay, then I'm going to do, or, you know, late morning like this, and I'm going to do this show and then I'm going to have this video and then I got to have an appointment here and then I got to do a call here. And then, you know, towards the end of the day, and that's another reason why at night for me, it's just all those things during the day. I don't know how people really, because I've made most of my progress. I used to lift in the afternoon or earlier part of the day, but I always like the morning. I don't know how people work out at night all the time. I would rather get up stupid early. And you know, get up at 3, 4 and train rather than work and then go to the gym at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. Just can't. I don't like it. I love the start of the day to be that. I focus on that more, and plus the physical benefits and all the natural high from training and feeling pumped and tight. And when you're eating food, you just feel like you're repairing. It's just a nice, I don't know. I think when you work out first thing in the morning, and then I'll talk more about the whole feet in this episode, but this is kind of really came up and I think it's really important. Another thing with working out first thing in the morning is you're taking care of your body. You're putting yourself number one. So as a result of putting yourself number one, I feel like if you work out first thing in the morning, you're more likely to take care of yourself better throughout the entire day. Does that seem about right? I think that really makes, I would be interested to see if people are just in better shape, those that work out first thing in the morning rather than those that work out at night. In general, I would think that people that work out in the morning are in better physical condition and health condition than people that in general, like over the course, you know, maybe on like a macro scale. I would say the people that work out first thing in the morning take better care of themselves overall in their life, not just their fitness, than people that work out in the evening. Because in the evening it's kind of like, okay, well, if everything, it's almost like the mentality is almost like if everything else goes well today, I'll make it to the gym. But of course, if things don't go well, then you're not going to make it to the gym, or you're tired, or something happens, or something comes up. Things always come up during the day. If you work out first thing in the fucking morning, nothing's come up yet. Your workout is what has come up. Nothing's come up to interrupt yet. If you want to be consistent, work out first thing in the fucking day. If you want to be consistent, if 2019 is the year of consistency, then you need to work out first thing in the morning. Because nothing comes up when you work out first thing in the morning. That's the only thing on the fucking docket. Nothing else matters. If you work out at 6 o'clock at night, well, every type of shit can hit the fan by fucking 6 o'clock. The only thing that can happen first thing in the morning is you get a flat tire. And that's going to be so far and few between. Especially if you work out at home, then it doesn't fucking matter. Right? But that's the only thing that could happen. Your car doesn't start. I mean, that's the random case. All right, shit fucking happens. So it's just the chance of you staying consistent. Yeah, and someone's commenting, I work out midday because of my son's nap time. That's fine. I mean, there's like I said, it depends on your schedule. It doesn't mean you can't get great results working out at night. This is just my observation. Like if you have a choice, if you're one of those people that's listening, because some people ask me, is it better to work out in the morning or the evening? Because people can maybe set their schedule or plan to do so. Then every single time I would say work out in the morning. Even if you're not a morning person, bullshit. Bullshit. I don't know if I even believe the morning evening person. I can stay up late too. But when I get to sleep early, like I have no problem staying up. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a night person. I just have no problem staying awake. Like I can just stay awake. Some people just get tired and they'll just keep on and they'll pass out. No, I can almost like jack myself up and I'll just be up all night working on something or watching. I can stay awake if I want to. Some people, even if they try to, they can't. But I'm a morning person now. Like when I get to sleep on time and I get enough sleep and I feel great. I feel great. So I don't know if that's really necessarily true. You have to train yourself. And plus, with all the electronics, we don't reset ourselves. And that leads us into actually the main topic. I'm just going to use that as a segue, is that technology and the things that we do in our life change who we are as an evolutionary creature. And that goes back to, or the original point that I was going to talk about today was your feet, because I've been posting a lot about barefoot and barefoot training. And because of shoes and all these things that we're putting on our feet all the time, we are not improving our performance. What's actually happening is we're weakening our bodies. So the posts that I've done, and this goes really hand in hand with working out first thing in the morning, doing what's natural, taking better care of your body, being consistent. We have to be consistent in all aspects. It's not just what we do in the gym and in the kitchen. What are we doing when we're not doing anything? Like, what are we wearing? Are we wearing restrictive clothing that don't allow us to move freely? Are we sitting in a chair? Are we in a hip flex position? Are we elevating our heels? Are we wearing shoes? Shoes and footwear form to our feet. They cushion our impact on the ground, which means they help resist, separate us from gravity essentially. And they kind of give us less pressure and a dispersion of pressure. And it stresses our bones less. It stresses our musculature less. And the elevation of the heel changes our entire posture all the way up our body, just like Jenga. And all these issues that we chronically have. We know that obesity is a huge fucking problem in this country. No one's arguing that. Obesity is a huge fucking problem. And it's becoming a huge problem in the world. But for all intents and purposes, it's the biggest fucking problem, I'm sure, in the United States. So we're dealing with an obesity fucking epidemic. Epic epidemic. An epidemic. That's literally what's going on in this fucking country. So because of that, we also have another epidemic that we don't talk about. It's not just obesity, it's posture, it's movement or lack thereof. So we're sitting down a lot. That's causing obesity, but the food makes a big difference. The stiffness, the joint pain, how many back problems do people fucking have? That's almost a given that people are going to have lower back injuries or herniated discs, bulging discs. Just, so many people are getting back surgery, which is like fucking probably worse than whatever you're dealing with. Like you can fix a lot of these things, but it takes yoga and therapy and movement. And, most people don't need surgery. They just go under the knife because insurance covers it. Their doctor wants to make more money. So yeah, you need surgery. A lot of these problems will just get fixed by fucking using mobility techniques and meditation and, proper stress management and better nutrition for inflammation and recovery. Anyway, feet, it's the only thing that touches the ground and we fuck with it, right? Since you're little babies and you compress their feet, how do you think feet form? Feet are supposed to be more webbed out, right? And the pinky's supposed to be more spread out, but we compress them into the toe box and we curve the feet in. We're putting little booties and shoes on kids. It's forming their feet like you're growing a watermelon in a cube. Like it's forming the bones. It's modern day foot binding, putting shoes on kids and like developing feet. It really is. Like your kids should be fucking barefoot like crazy because it teaches them better balance. And they are barefoot a lot of times when they're crawling around. But then somewhere along the line, they're putting on little shoes and little Nikes on kids. we're wearing shoes and we're yelled at, don't, put your shoes on, put your shoes on, put your shoes on. And it changes how people completely move, how they stand, how they sit, how they fucking function. It changes everything. And this is what causes people to move differently. Look, we're not born with shoes. The reason why you start building calluses on your feet if you walk around barefoot all the time is because that's your natural footwear. Your feet are designed to grow thicker and tougher over time or stay soft depending on their use. You use it or you lose it, right? Your body adapts. It'll adapt to walking around on gravel all the time, and you'll get thicker feet. You'll get thick calluses and all that stuff. If you always do pedicures and you never touch the bare earth, you're going to have really soft and delicate feet. And also the delicate nature, it weakens the bones, it weakens the tendons, it weakens the muscles, it weakens your balance. And not to mention, if you have elevated heels, it's affecting your back, your knees, your hips. People are sitting down in a hip and knee flexion all the fucking time. And not only that, their heels are elevated. So you're fucking the hips up at the knees. You're fucking the hips up at the hips. So the back, and this is why the lower back has so many issues. That's why pretty much 90% or more of people in this country have lower back pain at least once in their life. And that's a fucking statistical fact, and it could even be higher. Everyone's had some fucking back problems. You want to know why? Because the lower back especially gets fucked up from upper body posture, from thoracic posture and shoulder posture. At computers and texting and driving always to the front. So the lower back is taking hits from that. And that's not natural to be in that position locked all the time. The lower back is taking hits from the hip because the hip is always in flexed position, sitting down a lot. Your lower back and your lumbar spine are getting fucking flexed to shit and just getting compressed. Your lower back is taking hits from the knees because the knees are usually in knee flexion because you're sitting down all the time. So there's tension on the hamstrings because of the shortened position. Not to mention you're sitting and you're in a hip flexed position. And your lower back is rounded. So you got your hamstrings are all jacked up anyway. Then your lower back is taking hits from the ankle because the ankle is in plantar flexion most of the time because your heels are elevated. So your lower back is getting fucked from the top and the bottom because your lower back is just reacting. Your lower back is just swaying more or arching more because of your hip position, because of your upper body position, your shoulder position. So it's no surprise that the lower back has so many issues. It's no surprise that the hamstrings have so many issues, that the knees, people have issues at all these joints. And yeah, it's like, okay, if you have joints, those are places where you would have a joint injury. Of course, a joint is just where two bones interact. But you're not supposed to have fucking chronic back pain. You're not supposed to have knee pain or knee injuries the way that we do. You're supposed to have strong musculature. You're supposed to be moving your joints in the right directions and all directions and moving freely and having proper alignment. And if you're elevating your heels and you're changing your ankle position, you fundamentally don't have the proper alignment. It's impossible. It's impossible to have the proper alignment when your heels are elevated because it shortens the calves, it puts pressure on the knee, it makes you lean forward more, it flexes the hip more, you get more of a lower back arch, you get more of a thoracic rounding, kyphotic position. You start shifting like Jenga. You change the angle of one thing and everything else has to tilt and shift to adjust to that change. And I want you to think about this because your feet are the only things, your lower body, your foot, it's the only thing that touches the ground. You don't walk on your fucking hands and knees. You walk on your feet. I want you to think about this. How valuable or how safe would you feel? Let's say you buy a Ferrari. You think, oh, Ferrari, it's a great car. That's a great car. It'll stick to the ground. It has really, really good handling and all this stuff, right? Or whatever car you want to choose. What if you have that Ferrari and you used all your money? You used all your money buying the Ferrari. So you had to just get whatever tires you had with like $100 you had left over. So you get these used fucking almost balding shitty tires and you put them on a $500,000 Ferrari. That car is going to go right off the fucking road or it's going to blow a tire right away. So why are you fucking with your feet? Your feet are the tires. So it doesn't matter how wonderful the engine is. It doesn't matter about the nice interior inside the Ferrari. The Ferrari has bald tires. It comes down to the tires. People buy these fucking rims for their cars. People buy chrome rims. They buy, oh, that's fucking sick. You know, they drop a couple G's. They drop a couple G's on some fucking rims. And then they buy shitty tires because they don't have any more fucking money. And they wanted the flashy chrome or the whatever design, and they cheap out on the fucking tires, and yeah, it's fucking worthless. And what happens? The tire blows and you fuck the shit out of the rim that you want. So in other words, people don't pay attention to the most important things, because the most important things aren't always sexy. The most important things aren't always, you know, what's socially acceptable. Man, you wear Vibrams. Like, what the fuck are those, bro? What the fuck are those? What you wearing? What are you wearing on your feet? What are those slippers? What are those good for? You mean it's my fucking foot? It's a foot. You have one too. If you're fortunate, you have two of them. They're your feet. You're born with them. You know, they help you walk and shit. That's like, what the fuck do you think they are? I know it's not socially like cool. Like, oh, as a dude, you look like you're wearing ballet slippers. Yeah, they do kind of look like ballet slippers. And what? It's so fucking what? I'm going to wear them. I don't care what anyone says about them. I like them. They feel fucking amazing. I literally feel like I am not wearing, it doesn't even feel like I'm wearing a slipper. Those are so minimal, with minimal on top. I don't feel any Velcro. There's no Velcro. It's fucking amazing. It is a slipper, and they're awesome. And I love them. It's my foot. I want to work my entire body. My entire body. And this is not like, oh yeah, I'm bodybuilding. I want to work my entire body. So I want to work my feet too, because I don't want to leave no muscle behind, bro. Leave no muscle behind. What do you know about, anterior tibialis, motherfucker? What you know about that? That's not why. It's not for muscle. I mean, it is for muscle balance, but it's not just because I'm a fitness nut or something. It's just I want to be healthy. I do mobility, I do yoga, and I want to perpetuate that. And you don't have to catch up as much with yoga and mobility, right? You don't have to play, if you're sitting down for 20 hours a fucking week or more, or whatever it is, yeah, you're playing catch up. You're trying to balance it out frantically with yoga and mobility because you're locking yourself up, and then you're trying to mobilize as much as you can, right? But if you're barefoot, not saying all of you can do that if you have a uniform or something, but the more you're barefoot and the more you are mobile, the less you have to play catch up, because you're always, you're not wearing things down the other direction. I'm not tightening things up by wearing, footwear, by wearing high heels or something, so I don't have to fix as much shit as I would if I wore dress shoes all day, men or women, right? I feel exactly the same way. Let me read this comment from Colton on Facebook. He says, I was just talking about my Vibrams and minimalist shoes this past weekend. I can't go back to normal shoes for more than a couple hours without my whole body hurting. I am exactly the same way. I used to have like a pair of like Chucks, Converse. I can't wear those. I feel like I'm wearing rubber galoshes when I wear those. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's the craziest fucking thing. Once you go barefoot long enough, and I'm really talking long enough, because when I'm here, I'm barefoot. Like no shoe ever in the fucking house. Never. Why? Why would I wear shoes for a moment in my house? First off, the Japanese have it right. It's fucking dirty as shit. Your fucking shoes, you're trying to bring absolute fucking filth into your house. All the shit you're tracking on, you're just going to walk around your fucking house. That's just ludicrous in itself. I'm not a germaphobe, but fucking that's gross. Gasoline, just shit, piss. Who the fuck knows? All right, so food for you, take your shoes off out fucking side. Anyhow, but why would I wear them inside my house? Why would I wear them inside my house? People wear shoes inside the house. The fuck out of here. Why? Why? Anyway, so or when I go to the gym, that's pretty much all where I would go. I mean, I wear my Vibrams. I wear the same thing. Usually it's worked around the gym. I'll go to the gym and then I'll do whatever errands or this. Yeah, I wear those. Yeah, they get looks, I'm sure. And people look, oh, well, look at those. Come on, things are so fucking weird now. The sneakers people wear with these fucking ridiculous colors and what fucking Jordans or whatever people are buying, the new Kobe's or whatever the fuck, like, oh, the colors and ridiculous. Shit always goes in circles, and footwear is getting weirder and everything's stylish, and people are trying to get attention from everyone on social media and stuff. So me wearing these shoes, it probably just looks like, oh, it's a style thing, or he's trying to stand out. Like, I don't care what people think, but for real, they're awesome. They're awesome. It's when you wear them that much, because I really don't wear anything else. It's fucking weird wearing shoes. It's really fucking weird wearing shoes. Oh, thank you so much, David. Appreciate it. I got to read this because whenever someone says pop their cherry in a comment, it has to be read publicly. David says, you popped my podcast cherry. Oh, it went away. It went away. No, pop your cherry. Oh, no. It didn't pop my thing. Anyway, he was talking about how I popped his cherry. And for the podcast. So if it's your first if it's your first Daily Swole, you have to talk about your cherry being popped. FYI, you have to drop in the comments to be like, this is my first fucking Swole. Anyway, so when you go away from shoes and you go barefoot for a long enough period of time, I'm telling you, it's the weirdest fucking thing. It's similar to not eating junk food for a long time, not having soda, not drinking any of that stuff for, I'm talking about a while, months or years. Then you have a sip or something and you're like, oh God, and you almost want to vomit. You literally almost want to vomit when you have junk food, when you don't have for so long. It doesn't even smell good or taste good anymore. It doesn't. When you really, 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 really eat clean, real food for a long enough period of time, and drop in the comments if you think I'm lying or if you had the same experience. I know you have. It'll literally taste just horrific. Horrific. Especially if you remember it like tasting good, whether it's Taco Bell or McDonald's or pizza. And I'm not talking about, really high quality pizza. I'm talking about a fucking shit pizza like Domino. Don't even fucking play. It's a shit pizza. If I'm not even, I don't promote pizza on the fucking podcast, of course. I mean, I know people eat it, obviously, but we can all agree that there's, you can definitely do better for yourself. That's for damn sure. But yeah, it tastes gross. Stuff, just junk food tastes gross. And you're hypersensitive to it. You're hypersensitive to the sugar. You're hypersensitive to the sweet. It's just the carbonation. It'll fuck you up. Yeah, it'll fuck you up. Same thing with shoes. Same thing with footwear. It just goes to show how much and how important it is for us to eat the real foods, and how important it is for us to move our body the way it's supposed to be moved, to move our body without shoes, without footwear. That's what is supposed to happen. We're supposed to eat the right fucking foods, and we're supposed to walk around with our fucking feet. That's it. That's it. Game over. Hey, everyone, you ready? I'm just going to leave this on repeat for the next 1,000 fucking episodes. We're supposed to eat the right foods, and we're supposed to move the right way. Whoop. Braingasm right there. Boom. Just knowledge nutted all in your fucking brain. You like that? How does it feel? A little sticky, right? A little salty? Probably. I'm a little dehydrated. I apologize. But yeah, busted a huge knowledge nut. That was massive. That was epic. And that's it. That pretty much wraps it up, and that approximates kind of everything in the fitness realm. I think that's probably the truest statement ever made. That's probably the most absolute piece of truth That's like the holy grail for fitness. You mean you have to eat the right foods and move the right way? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Did we just answer every question ever? No, but seriously, if you eat real food, garbage, like you can't even pretend to enjoy it. It's hard to explain. No joke. It's really hard to explain. It's hard to explain because you can't really even enjoy it. Right? Like I loved, chicken wings, but when I would go back, let's say I remember eating this one kind or from this one restaurant, you go back, even if I'm like, okay, even if I'm convinced I'm going to binge, I'm going to eat, it's going to be so good, I'll eat it, I'll take a bite, and it's just so sweet, I just can't actually enjoy it anymore. Your body just rejects it and forgets that it even exists, and I just can't enjoy it. So whereas in the past, when you cheat, and that's the thing, when you have a cheat meal once a week and you eat the food that you want to, like you cheat, you have your cravings, you're giving into it. You never have that break and your body just stays in this fucking zombie state because you keep on going back to it. So you have those cravings and it still tastes good because your body hasn't reset. And this is not a matter of, well, if you give up anything for a while, it's still going to taste weird when you come back to it. Yes and no. Because if it's real food and it's something you just haven't had in a long time, it's probably still going to taste good. Like you're not going to not eat avocados for a long time and then you come back and have an avocado. Oh my God, it's terrible. If you liked it in the past, maybe you just didn't have an avocado for 2 years. You're not going to be like, ew, it's so gross now. That's not how it works. But you don't drink soda or these hyper sweet or hyper fucking salty things. And then you come back and you're like, what the fuck? Like salt, that's a big one. Salt is a big one. And I had salt, salt and stuff to everything. I don't shy away from salt, but when we're talking super sodium containing, artificial, right? Like just added salt, like tons of added. Ooh, fucking brutal, burn your fucking face off. It's similar like that to hot peppers and I can't handle that shit anymore. I used to when I was eating garbage. Can't handle it anymore. Very, very light. Pepper is plenty for me now. I don't put a lot of seasonings. I don't need that shit. I don't need a lot of flavor. I just love the flavor of the food that I'm supposed to eat. And I was about to say that I eat. No, I'm supposed to eat it. I crave it all the fucking time. I crave it. I love it, but it's all real food and I really want it. Like, what am I addicted? I'm addicted to grass-fed beef and salad and roasted broccoli and avocado. Like, okay, I'm addicted. I can't get enough. How is that bad for me? It's just so fucking good. It's so fucking good. I eat so good. I just love food. I love good food. Some people like fancy watches and cars, and I just love having the food that I want to eat or I need to eat available. I love it. Fit Del Matthews. It's my first Swole Normous podcast too. Cherry poppin' day for 965. Hadn't had junk food in months and had Taco Bell in a pinch recently and got super sick. Yeah, because you didn't eat real food. You didn't eat real meat, whatever that was. Yeah, that rat burrito. Kayla Jordan. It's also important to work out your feet, specific feet stretches and workouts. I do that and wear socks all the time because I like to wear heels on dates. I need to take care of my feet. Yeah, well, I mean, if you're wearing barefoot shoes and you're doing yoga, you're working out your feet plenty. Yeah, I mean, you don't need foot workouts if you just do yoga. But I mean, anytime you're walking, you're doing a foot workout. Like that's the thing. When you're barefoot and you're walking around, that is a workout for your feet. That's literally the only thing that your feet are designed to do, is to provide you with that support enough to create gait. It's just your feet are just a place for the freaking Achilles tendon to insert on, the calcaneus, and then boom, plantar flexion, but you walk through it. That's what it's designed for. That's the only thing, walking, creating a lot of force with minimal effort. That was this is my biomechanics, the 2nd degree lever in the ankle with the calves. Remember we talked about this? We talked about We talked about the effort. If I gave you 200 pounds to curl, you wouldn't be able to do it. But if you weigh 200 pounds, you can go up in the balls of your feet. It's because, and without any effort really, just kind of boom, just pop up. And that's a lot of weight. You're like, oh, how are my calves so much stronger, but my biceps are bigger? That's just because of the muscle fiber type, but the lever system too, that it takes a lot less force and energy internally to create that kind of like resistance against gravity. So that lever system, where the muscle is, where the angle of rotation is, where the the force is, and all that shit. So you just go up on the balls of your feet. Well, 200 pounds moved up and down. It does every time you take a step. But if I gave you 200 pounds to bench press, maybe you couldn't do it, or 200 pounds to overhead press or curl or whatever. So it's interesting. I mean, the body is very, very fascinating, but it's very simple. It's complicated, but simple. It's complicated for when you learn the science, you try to categorize all the aspects of the body. But let's forget the science for a second. Let's forget, okay, all the details, the name of this blood cell, the name of this cell and this tissue and this. We're just trying to categorize stuff as humans. We find something different. Oh, we got to call that something else. So you categorize something else. Let's just look at the human beings from just a basic thing. We need to eat food, real food. Like what's the stupidest, most generalized way to look at a human being? Human being, oh, look, the joints move like this. Our joints need to move like the joints need to move. The muscle will build and disappear based on what that human being does. There's extra fat if that human being is eating too much, or if they're eating too little. Okay, it'll gain and lose weight, or this, it'll have more muscle here if it uses these. Whatever body parts it uses, it'll develop more. It has to, the joints move, and it has to eat certain foods. That's all a human being does. Has to eat certain foods, and it can move in this direction. And then it fucks another one that has a hole. This one has a shaft, and then a little one comes out, and they go and they eat foods, and that's all it does. And then it makes more babies, and it eats more, and it does this stuff, and then it makes more. And then it's so fucking simple. It's so simple. So, yeah, we talked about that. I don't care. I know the black shoes. I know they look like ballet slippers. I just literally give less than 0 fucks. If I could give less than 0 fucks, I would. So you can. I don't care. I mean, I don't know if that's an insult or you're saying you're not busting my balls at all. I don't care if you like them. I don't care if you want to wear them. You should be, but you don't have to. I went to the doctor a few months ago because I thought I injured my shoulder, but after doing my own research and listening to your Muscle Monday, I discovered it's a pectoral strain. Pectoral strain. Ooh. Well, you went to the doctor a few months ago. Hold on a second. You went to the doctor a few months ago because you thought you injured your shoulder. But after doing your own research and listening to your Muscle Monday, I discovered it's a pectoral strain. What did your doctor tell you? But you had gone to your doctor a few months ago. What did he tell you about your shoulder strain? I'm interested in that. Oh, it's okay, Jason. No, you're not insulting. You weren't insulting me. Like, I wouldn't get... It takes 2 people for an insult. You could have tried to insult me or something. I still would not have been insulted. Anyway. But yeah, in other words, I know you weren't trying to be rude. No, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, they do look like ballet slippers. I mean, if Vibrams didn't exist, I would freely wear ballet slippers. I would absolutely wear ballet for sure if I had to. Just don't need to because the Vibrams exist. He said it was a shoulder muscle that was strained or inflamed. Are you sure it's a pectoral strain? So you went to the doctor a few months ago, but then you did your own because you thought you hurt your shoulder. Wait a second. But looking at the pectoralis major, it's exactly where the tendon connects to the arm. Jesus Christ. Wait. Well, I mean, you're not... Well, I guess you can't be sure, but if your doctor thought it was a shoulder, it just goes to, hey, medicine. Yay, medicine. Well, it's probably just a shoulder strain. It could be. To be honest, it depends on where you're feeling it. It could also be the biceps tendon, which technically would be a shoulder because it does shoulder flexion partially. But it could be the biceps tendon. That's common. Depends on what's wrong with your shoulder or that area. Could be the biceps tendon. Depends on where it's inserting. Which is not the same place, but it could be conceived for it. He gave me anti-inflammatory medication. I'm sure he did. I hope you didn't take it, though. God, anti-inflammatories can be so fucking bad for your gut. They're so bad. Motrin and ibuprofen fuck your stomach and your intestines up. All right, Mike, I remember one of my first podcasts, you were showing a video. He had those shoes, kung fu shoes. Yeah. Is it frowned upon to just wear yoga socks when you work out at the gym? Can't afford the shoes right now. Yeah, I wouldn't wear. I don't. I've never seen anyone wear yoga socks. They wouldn't. Here's the thing, because you have to wear shoes from an insurance standpoint. They don't want you going barefoot because you drop a plate or you stub. I mean, people always ask, do you stub your toe? Like, oh, but you're going to step on things. Yeah, if you fucking close your eyes and just swing your legs around, you're going to fucking kick shit. And once in a while, when you first start wearing them, you might hook your toe, but you realize how clumsy you are with shoes. Like, you don't watch where you kick or where you step. You don't watch your step. You don't look. And people that wear shoes roll their ankle all the time. You know why? Because you're not looking where you're walking, because you're wearing shoes. You're wearing these protective fucking cocoons, and you just walk. You step on rocks and you just kick these things. You step on this ledge. When you wear Vibrams all the time and you wear barefoot shoes, you look where you're walking. If there's a curb, you're stepping gingerly. I've never fucking rolled my ankle or hurt myself. Not to mention, if you were going to roll something or you stepped on the edge of something, because you're barefoot, your ankle can actually move. You're working on your mobility all the time, technically, because you're moving your foot, but your ankle can bend. If you're wearing a stiff shoe, it's going to limit where your ankle can actually move and rotate and invert and evert. So there's going to be pressure on more of a specific area, and you can fucking break your ankle really quickly. Whereas if you're barefoot, you might have like a little tweak and just kind of walk it off and be fine. I've like literally done things in the barefoot shoe. Like I should have fucking hurt my knee, or I should have twisted something. And I did a lot, like really hard. And you're like, holy shit. But then I felt no pain. I'm like, am I just in fucking shock? And no, just doesn't, your body can move and adjust nicely. Not to mention you're fucking looking where you're stepping. You're not just walking randomly. You're looking, you're keeping an eye out. So you learn to pay attention. You look where you step, and then you're fine. You just look where your feet are going. My favorite question is, what are you doing? Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, that's the thing with insurance though. So insurance, if you don't wear shoes, they can get in trouble. But at the same time, the Vibrams, like, they're shoes, they're footwear. So you can't tell me not to wear them. It's more like it gets transferred to me because I'm wearing footwear in the gym, technically. So their insurance will cover or won't cover. It doesn't need to. It's on my personal, right? If I drop a weight on my foot, well, it's my negligence or it's my acceptance of risk for being in the gym. Like, it's, the contract is no longer, it's on the gym. It's on me because I dropped it on my foot. I was wearing shoes, but it was my accidental, my fault kind of thing. But if I'm not wearing footwear and the gym didn't enforce that, and like, oh, I was wearing barefoot, how you didn't tell him to, or no one was watching and making sure that people, liability and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, if you drop a weight on your foot when you're wearing a shoe, you fucking crush your foot too. Just because you're wearing shoes doesn't protect you. But that's how people move. That's what people think. They think because they're wearing shoes that they're protecting their feet, when actually they're weakening their bones, their tendons, their ligaments. They're still exposed. They're adding more risk to rolling their ankle and so forth. It's like football. People think, well, they're wearing helmets, they're safe. Well, not when they're finding out that it's destroying their fucking brains because of this impact, right? So just because they're wearing helmets doesn't mean you can smash it all you want, obviously. And just because you're wearing shoes doesn't mean your body's protected. You're changing your posture. So whereas you might think, oh, I need some good footwear. I need some good shoes and good sneakers, to support my foot. I want it to be fluffy like a cloud. No, these are so soft. It shouldn't be soft. Your body should be able to resist earth. It should have the musculature and the strength so it feels the same way as you do with a shoe. And you shouldn't be supporting your arch. Your muscles should support your arch for you. You shouldn't be lifting your heel. There's no need to have a cushioned heel for running because you're not supposed to run on your fucking heel. You're supposed to run on the balls of your feet and your midfoot. It's barefoot running. It's how you would run down the hall naturally. So if you want to understand what it's like or how you're supposed to run, you barely even, I mean, you have to fix all your ailments. You can't just be doing barefoot running out of nowhere. You're going to fucking break your foot from stress fractures. But if you want to know what it's like to barefoot run, you don't even have to teach a human being. Just remove their shoes and tell them to run down the street. You don't want to run barefoot, I'm telling you, on concrete. But I'm just saying if you were to, or even on grass, no one's going to run heel to toe. They're going to run the balls of their feet. They're going to run soft and kind of like shuffle. It's natural. It's so ingrained in how we are designed to move. We don't even have to practice it. You know, of course now we do because we grow up wearing shoes. So you have to practice. You have to really learn, and you can't just go running barefoot. You have to really build up to it slowly because your muscles are so weak. It's very common when you first start, people that do it too quickly, they'll get stress fractures. You can get Achilles tendonitis and ruptures and things because all of a sudden you're running completely differently. And these muscles that never were trained to work that way, but you go barefoot all the time, doing a ton of yoga, you build up slowly, you'll be fine. I still wouldn't recommend it for on the road, but guess what? We're naturally supposed to be barefoot, and naturally there are no roads on Earth. So we're meant to run on harder surfaces, but harder dirt, grass, shit, right? I don't think I've read the whole book, or I'm aware of the book Born to Run. Yeah. You know, I don't really think, I don't necessarily think that humans are meant to run like long fucking distances. I think we're meant to walk long distances, but we're meant to sprint, you know? I think that still depends. There's a lot of variation with how, you know, of course, some humans can run farther than others, and, you know, everyone's different. Humans are just individual. We're just different in capacity, but we're absolutely meant to walk long distances, longer distance at a lower intensity. You know, walking, running, marathon. Obviously, a marathon is going to be a lot slower than a sprint, you know, for its given distance. And we're meant to sprint really fast. Our energy systems, everything is just like, you know, about attacking, escaping danger, enduring, adjusting, building muscle, calluses, all that stuff. Kayla, it's amazing how shoes debilitate you. When I was practicing goniometry on my boyfriend, his ankles barely moved due to wearing steel toe boots 90% of the time. Oh, absolutely. Are you a physical therapist, or are you studying for, you're doing manual muscle testing? Oh yeah. When you do, it's bad. It's bad. Well, think about women with heels. Yeah. Steel toed boots. It fucks up your mobility. Now but those of you that are wearing shoes and wearing footwear all the time, you got to be crushing your yoga and mobility. So I'm going to go do some right now. But yeah, it's something that shouldn't wait. And this episode was long. We talked about real eating. We talked about timing of training and footwear. This episode is really, really important. So if you're just catching it towards the end, definitely check this out on the upload on the podcast, or rewatch this, because this is really important information. You need to be working on your mobility. And it starts with your ankles and your feet for sure. Yeah. So anyway, get on it. Re-listen to this if you need to. Make sure you check out swolenormousx.com. Subscribe to the podcast. You can also check out the Gain Train blog for more content. And we'll be talking more about barefoot shoes and stuff. As you keep on seeing more and more videos and posts of me and my barefoot shoes, you'll continue to hear people ask about them. But I like the Vibrams. I've worn them. There are different brands out there, but I would highly look into it. Highly recommend looking into it. I would build into it slowly, but I would start implementing immediately mobility, yoga practice, and being more barefoot and being more connected with who you are as a person, as a body, as a figure, as a dynamic creature, and start working on these aspects, because very, very important for your long-term health, for your physical balance, everything. It's just super important. I couldn't put it higher on a pedestal. So very, very, very important to me, and it should be for you as well. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 966 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gangcast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow for 966. Peace, McGeese, Deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swole. Out. Morning Swole.